What is up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on the video today. So what we got going on right now is we're going to be doing some TGV deletes. I made a video on how to do TGV deletes a few years ago. I'll put a card up here to that one. The technique I used in that video was a little more janky. So this time around, I want to do something has better fit and finish and looks better as a final product. So I want to show you guys how I'm doing that. And if you like the way I'm doing it, you guys can do it yourself too. Because TGV deletes are getting harder and harder to buy and find these days. So I think it's becoming ever more important to know how to do it yourself. So I designed a TGV Delete Kit that I am selling on my website, swspeedco.com. I'll put a link below. You can go check it out. There also should be a little tab here where you can see the TGV Delete product. You can click there and order one for yourself, and I would really appreciate it if you helped to support the channel and support my small business. So I basically made a kit so it has mostly everything you need to do TGV deletes and have the final product look nice. So this is what would be included in the kit. Everything here is what's included in the kit. So it comes with hardware. These are like basically the motor covers. So these go where the factory TGV motors go, and the motor position sensors, and these block off the ends there, so it has a nice final fit and finish. Comes with new hardware to attach those, and then this is the I would say more secure technique for turning factory TGVs into the TGV deletes. If you don't want to watch the old video I made, basically what I did was I took I believe there were 5/16 bolts, and I just JB welded them into the holes, and that works, but you're basically relying on chemical adhesion of the JB weld to hold the bolt in there. So I only ever ran those on like 20 psi. So if you're running higher boost pressures, they might pop out. It's possible, or if you didn't get a good bond with the JB weld. So this new kit that I'm selling, I wanted it to be a more proven and strong design. Instead of using bolts, I'm using these set screws here. So these are 3/8 inch by 16 by 5/8. That's the length, but it's a 3/8 by 16. So what this does is when you take the shaft out of the TGV, you can use a 3/8 by 16 tap and tap threads into that hole, and then you can put JB weld on this and thread it in, and then you can grind the end down to smooth out the port. And what that does is it gives you a mechanical lock as well as a chemical lock, and then this piece will go, bolt on top of that and cover it up. I think it's a great design for these TGV deletes, these do-it-yourself TGV deletes. And this kit that I have for sale is cheaper than any of the other competitors' TGV delete kits that are on the market. So the only thing that you would need other than what's in this kit is some JB weld, which you can pick up at any hardware store, as well as a 3/8 by 16 tap. And the reason I decided to go with that tap is because if I did a metric size for these set screws, it'd be harder to find a tap. You'd probably have to order the tap online. The reason I went with the 3/8 by 16 is it's a very common tap size that, like, if you just bought a cheap tap set from Harbor Freight, it has that tap. Like any tap set you buy will have a 3/8 by 16 in there. So you won't have to order a special tap if you already have a tap set. And if you need to buy a tap, if you don't have taps already, those are easy to find at hardware stores too. It's a very common size. So accessibility was the reason that I decided to go with that size for the set screws. Make it easier on you guys. Yeah, so this is the kit that we're going to be using. Check it out on swspeedco.com. Link below. So with that out of the way, let me show you how to delete your TGVs. This is just gently clamped in the vise. So right now what we're going to do is remove those blades. So how to do that, you can use a Sawzall for this or air saw, but it's easy enough to do with a hacksaw. Get the blade in there, and then you just want to go to the edge. Just as far to the edge as you can get. Just like that, blade's removed. So now all we have to do is smooth out those edges that are left behind. So what I'm going to be using to remove the excess material is a die grinder. You don't have to use a die grinder, you can use a Dremel. You could probably even do it with a file, it'll just take a long time. Dremel also takes quite a bit of time. But I'm using this die grinder with a aluminum carbide bit. And this die grinder and bit is from Harbor Freight. Die grinder was 50 bucks. The bits came in this set of 4. These were 70 bucks. They're more expensive than the tool, but these things hog some material, so it's pretty cool. That's what I'm going to be using to clean this up. So let's get started. Alright, so didn't take too long to get these all cleaned up. It's a very rough finish, so I'm gonna go in with a Dremel and a flap disc and get all this smoothed out the best I can. And that's done as far as this goes. So these are the TGV covers. These are more of an aesthetic thing. They're just to cover up these openings, make it look appealing. So we have a small one for the back ones and then a big one for the front ones. First we need to remove this bearing. Sometimes they come out, so we have to remove this little seal on both ends. This one we have to remove the bearing, so I'll show you how to do that. Remove the seals. Since Cobb has recently discontinued the ability to disable check engine lights on stock ECUs, what you can do is remove the butterfly valves, do this porting to smooth it out, and then reinstall the shaft and put the motors and sensors back on, and the computer will run as normal, just you'll have more airflow, and this little round rod shouldn't do too much to detriment that airflow. So that's another option you have there too as well. There we go. Knocked it out and got the seal out. So I just stuck a screwdriver in, hit it up against the lip, and tapped it out. This rear seal, we should just be able to pop it out. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to be easy to see, but in this end of the TGV, there is another small bearing. Now you're going to want to get that out too. So this is a 3/8 inch drill bit, so we're just going to drill probably like halfway through. Just going to go nice and slow. Just little bits at a time. Okay, that's probably good. Get it started, and I don't want to really tap into the aluminum quite yet. You just don't want to get the bolt into the aluminum. So now we can try getting the bolt threaded in there. If you look in there, hopefully you can see, there you go, you can see the top of the bolt, not into the aluminum, just on the bearing. Let's try to get this out. There we go, it's coming. Almost caught my lip there. So as you can see, the bearing part came off. Now we can unthread it. So that's what we're pulling out, and now we're clear to tap that hole. This is aluminum, so this should be real nice and easy. We're just gonna grab our tap, get a little bit of oil on it, centered as we can, straight as we can. And just like that, easy peasy, hole tapped. Okay, that's one side done. Now let's do this side. Hopefully you can see in there, but we got threads now. I'm gonna finish getting these cleaned up and we're gonna move on to the next step. So I have small ones and big ones. I think in the kit I'm just gonna put these small ones, but I'm gonna put because I have them, I'm gonna put the big ones in these holes and the small ones in these holes. So let's grab a small guy. Let's get some JB weld on her. Want to make sure he gets them in the threads. Trying to not make a complete mess. Thread this in. Okay. And I made it so that it sticks out. We're gonna have to grind it down a little bit, but that'll make sure we have full thread engagement. So now they are both in place. We're gonna let those cure. I'm gonna do the other one. Just gonna let those cure, and then we will come back and grind those. Okay, so I got these masked up. I'm gonna throw some paint on them, just because I think this is like the cleanest I'm gonna be able to get them, and they're still kind of ugly. So I'm gonna throw some paint on them, make them look better. And this is how I'm plugging up the holes. I've seen this technique done before on Instagram, so I'll show you on this guy. And then I have these. I just 3D printed some little plugs that fit in these fuel injector holes there. And then for the holes, I just went to Harbor Freight and bought some earplugs. And then to plug up these holes with threads you don't want to get paint in, you just twist your earplug and put it in the hole. Just like if you're putting it in your ear, you twist it and it expands into the hole. It's the same thing. So it's my first time trying this, but I think it's a great idea. We'll see how it works taking them out, but it's nice and easy to mask them this way. So I just need to wait for those to be done to print, and then we can start painting these. So now to do this, you just gotta put that in there. Now it has a much more nice and finished look compared to just an open cavity there. I think it looks better. And just so you know, I'm still working on different surface finishes, so some of them don't look as good as the others. This one looks a lot better, but I'm still working on what I think looks best. TGVs are now ready to go in. As of the time of me filming this clip, I've had these on the car for probably 6 months, and I have had 0 issues with them warping, breaking, anything. So I can actually show you real quick. So I'll do the best I can to show you them. This is a little sneak peek, but there's the end one. Still no warping, no melting, no nothing. And it's hard to see the back one, but same thing. Still in great shape. No warping, no melting. So this nylon material is the real deal. I also have a colder intake printed out of it as well. That'll be in a later video. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you found it useful. If you're interested in the TGV Delete Kit I used in this video, go check it out on swspeedco.com. I will link it down below. I have lots of other stuff on the website too, lots of other Subaru and Universal parts. Go take a look at those. It would mean the world to me if you guys would check out my website. And support my small business. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. If you know of somebody who might like this video, please share it with them. And if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.